Happy Labor Day. Got the old geezer glide packed up, and I'm heading on another epic road trip. Alright, well, I'm about 10 minutes into my trip, and I've already lost my phone. Found it. It's a little smashed up, but still works. But thank God I found it, and it isn't completely destroyed. So, anyways, thanks to my subscribers, all my old subscribers, my new subscribers for sticking with me. Already this trip's got some bad juju on it. Like I said, I haven't made it 10 minutes and I already lost my phone off the bike. I went up to Deals Gap, Tail the Dragon last year, hit a couple spots, went to the, see the Georgia Guidestones on the way up, and then did the Dragon, hung out there for the day, and then on the way back stopped and seen my buddy in Alabama, and pretty much came home. This year I'm going to the Tail the Dragon, but that's where I'm going to start. So, you know, I was supposed to leave later on tonight, but the weather report says it's going to be pretty nasty weather. So I decided to get a jump on it. Probably going to spend the night somewhere before I get to Deals Gap. I'm just going to drive until it gets dark, find a spot, get up early in the morning, and continue on to the Dragon. But pretty much the Dragon's where I'm going to start my trip. The Dragon, the Terrahala Parkway or Skyway or whatever the heck they call it. And then get up the next morning, get up real early, right before the sun comes up. And I'm going to hit the Blue Ridge Parkway, and it takes you from Cherokee, North Carolina to Rockfish Gap, Virginia. And once I get to there, I'm going to probably continue on. And, you know, I might do something a little special. You know me, like I said last year, I went to the Georgia Guidestones, which is, yeah, like I said, a little weird thing. If you watched any of my stuff, I like to go do some weird stuff, go see some weird things. Maybe we'll see some cool things on the way. I'm not sure what we'll see. Alright, so we're kind of getting into northern Florida, Hernando County, just crossed into Hernando County. And this is where you start seeing a little bit of different scenery in Florida. You start getting some elevation changes and some actual hills. There's definitely no mountains here, but you do start getting some hills and a little more curves, which is a refreshing change from just going right down straight roads. It is a nice refreshing little change here, seeing these curves and these hills. You know, makes it nice, a little bit more pleasant. Something to see besides just flat roads. Can I squeeze the gap here? Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, I made it, no problem. Wow, that was close. Probably made that guy shit his pants. Almost guarantee you that. And, you know, it wasn't really my fault or his fault. I did take a risky move. He probably didn't think it. He didn't probably realize I was there. You know, I recognized there was a situation. Just gave her some gas, got the hell out of his way. No big deal. Just hit 12,000 miles in the old geezer glide. Man, what a milestone. She's gonna have a lot more in it when I'm done. Well, you know when you're getting close to coming out of Florida, when you see the signs for Cafe Risque. If you're not familiar with Cafe Risque, let's kind of put it there. There it is, old Cafe Risque, hidden behind the bushes, in a good place for it. It's not a kind of a place you want to bring your wife and children if you're on vacation. It's one of those places, let's just put it this way, that you can get breakfast and beaver pretty much served on the same plate. Pretty much as I predicted when I was installing this chin mount and adding that extra arm, it's caused a little extra leverage. And the chin mount's kind of failing, and everything else is stuck. The 3M is sticking to the helmet, but the 3M glue is not actually sticking to the chin mount itself. So every few miles I see my camera drop and I gotta stick it back in place. That's not gonna last long. I'm glad I put that tether on there just in case at last minute, because chances are this thing's gonna pop off here. and I may end up losing the GoPro, which that could suck. That can end up in lost some pretty good footage, and I don't know if I brought any extra GoPro mounts. If I did, I may do that, throw one of them on there, and go from there. I think a lot of the problem is looking at that chin mount, that the back side of it's not really textured too much. It's still kind of got that shiny gloss finish, and I'm sure when they do the, you know, it's just 3D printed stuff, so I'm sure there might be some sort of residue when that, you know, comes off there. So you might, you know, probably should scuff that up and then put the 3M on. That way it gives it a little bit better texture, a little bit more to grip to, because that's where it's failing, is at the chin mount to the 3M. So I'm about 50 miles into Georgia. I just stopped to put my GoPro mount on my helmet and figure out where I'm going. And I'm going to try and find a spot to stay for the night around where the entrance to Route 129 is. It says it's about 5 hours from here. I don't know how many miles, 390 miles or so. So I'm going to try and get there before the sun goes down. Probably gonna be a little bit dark when I get there. Hopefully I can find something out there. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot there. So we'll just see what happens. We're just gonna wing it. Go from there. Got a full tank of gas, so it'll get me for at least the next fuel stop before I get to where I gotta go. So see you on the road when I'm out my helmet. GoPro back on my helmet, and continue on the journey. Alrighty, so we got the GoPro mounted back on here. I'm gonna make a prediction that this standard curved GoPro mount is gonna make the trip better than that chin mounts. Like I said, normally I like the chin mounts. The problem is with this one, it just doesn't have enough vertical surface area, and because you can't lean the camera back far enough, you have to add attachments to the arm and so on and so forth in order for you to lean your camera back far enough where you can get, you know, a decent video where you're not looking at the dash the whole time when you're riding. So I'm gonna say, because this GoPro mount has more surface area, even though it doesn't grab on the edges quite as good, but vertical surface area is definitely about probably almost double what it is with the chin mount. So say another little like I said, little snafu along the way, I guess you'd call it. But we're on a road. I know where I'm going. Oh fuck, man, look at that shit. That's fucking believable. These motherfuckers, man, boy. Woo. Another close call today. Man, I'm back 1,000. Well, looks like I'm coming into some nasty weather up there. We got a couple other folks with the same idea as I got. Getting off the highway. They ain't got no top neither. So the rain stopped. I hooked my GoPro back up so that way I can talk and it won't get ruined in the rain. Weather's looking pretty clear here for a while. But it wouldn't be a venture away from home without some sort of problem at home. So while I was stopped, I seen that I had a message from my son to call him. And my son don't usually call me for anything unless, you know, it's relatively important. I guess my AC, the drain of my AC started backing up and it started flooding the floor and all that stuff. So, and he's not real mechanically inclined, but he knows when there's a problem, which is good. But so I ended up having the neighbors come over and help him out with that and stuff, and hopefully that fixes the problem. I can't complain, but I'm glad he called me when he recognized there's a problem, and that's the best he can do. You know, I'm not home, I can't fix it, and luckily I got some really good neighbors that are, you know, we help each other out when we need it. But I'm back on the road, got my GoPro on again, and looks like smooth sailing. I mean, there's a few clouds in there, but ain't nothing like I ran into earlier, so